It says we're live. Are we live? Sorry guys, I'm sneaking in from out of the thing. Shelton was trying to teach me how to do this on my own. You know, because he doesn't like me and didn't want to have to do it anymore. Let's see, what do we got going on here? We've got, let me turn this down. Oh yeah, we are already live. Holy shit. Sorry guys. What's going on? Let's see, Rich Elb, of course, had to chime in and be the first. Angel says, nuh-uh. Dean Conrad, what's up? Ground Fog, Mark Curtis, John Kranz, Garrett Matson, Austin, what is going on? Lily Rose, hello. Andy, what is going on? I'm going to get those dates to you as soon as possible. Kyle Boer, what's going on, man? Christina, what's going on? Look, there's Heather. Did I miss somebody? Dale? Did I say Dale? Hello, Dale. Higher X, what's going on, sir? Paul, Jonathan Webb. Damn, Gary, what's going on, dude? What is going on, everybody? Any update on the gear sale? Well, no, there is not. We are currently trying to get everything packed up from the shop and out of the way. So anyway, as soon as there is an update, you can expect it to be on the alumni page. Heather, if you have any more information, if you know more than me, go ahead and throw it out. But anyway, yes. Let's see. Willie Everett, good to see you, sir. Max's Path. Where is my magenta marker? God damn it. I don't know. I don't get the reference. I'm sorry. Is it from a movie? If it's from a movie, you know I won't understand. Dean says he's looking forward to the fight this weekend. Learning will take place. You're absolutely correct. I'm super excited about the fight this weekend, especially because we're going to have you down here to role play. We're going to have Tom. We're going to have Dylan. And I believe Ak from Citizen Safety Academy, Akil, is going to be here. So, boom. It's going to be a good time. And we've got 5 students this time. It's not just one dude who's being tortured for the weekend. So, it should be all right. Yes. All right. So, let's talk about it, guys. YouTube memberships. So, we just found out, literally, Shelton and I have been working on it, and basically, we were reviewed, the channel was reviewed, and our monetization was pulled. And so, because of that, memberships have been pulled. Shelton is starting on the appeal process, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to appeal it and see if it goes through, but that's why the memberships are gone. So we still have, as you can see, we still have all of the functionality of the channel, so we'll still be making videos and all that good stuff. But yes, if you have a membership, it's no longer a thing. Yeah, YouTube is lame. YouTube is lame. I agree. That's probably not going to help the appeal process, but damn it. Yeah. Did they give a reason? Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. They sent an email saying, "Hey, we had our professional people look at your channel and you do not meet the guidelines anymore. So fuck you." I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it felt like. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So we're trying to get it worked out. Yeah. It's guns. I mean, at the end of the day, it's guns is what it is. Like, if you look back, sorry, I'm going to rant a little bit. Sorry, guys, that you're going to deal with my frustration. But if you look back at the channel for the past year and a half, 2 years, whatever, we have put out pretty much the same style of content for a while now. And to suddenly get not a channel strike, it's not like they emailed us from another video or anything like that and was like, hey, if this happens again, like, you're fucking done. It is just a come out of nowhere after 2.5 years of us really running the channel. Um, it's fucking shitty, man. It's crazy. So I'm maybe I'm an optimist, but I'm hoping that when they said that they're professional, channel viewers or whatever, I hope by that they meant AI, and we just got flagged for some weird thing. Um, I'm hoping that we can appeal it and get everything sorted out. So anyway, that's it. Willie gets it. He says Patreon for the win. Absolutely. And of course, Liver TV. Worst case scenario. So again, we can still upload to this thing. Though they did say in the email that we still have to follow their YouTube community guidelines. So, but worst case scenario, we'll continue to upload to YouTube, of course. I mean, there is a history here of uploading for free. You guys who paid a membership are supporting the company, supporting everyone over here out of the goodness of your hearts. But there is a tradition that James started with putting out information that he thought would help people, not only for the training here, because that's how YouTube started. That's how James started YouTube. He got tired of people showing up for Fighting Pistol, not knowing certain things, and so he started putting out videos to help people get ready to take our classes. And then that kind of evolved into not only helping people be better students for tactical response, but giving out solid, useful information to be a better, if I'm arrogant enough to think this, and I am, a better human being. So we're going to continue to do that. But with that being said, if shit really hits the fan and like we can't post any kind of gun content on YouTube or anything like that, yeah, absolutely, Liver TV will be the place to be at that point. You can join it for free. If you're not already a Liber TV member, it's like $10 a month or $100 for the whole year. And we have a bunch of paid content on there. You get all of the DVDs, so Fighting Rifle, Fighting Pistol, Advanced Pistol, Shooting Missology, all the physical DVDs we released, as well as some stuff that we never released as a physical thing. There's vehicle tactics and I believe building clearing for sure. I think there's a fighting shotgun and things like that. So anyway, with that being said, if it just YouTube was like, nah, screw you guys, Liver TV will be the place to be for sure. The bird's the word. What a bunch of BS. Yep, I agree. Max's Path. The tech companies right now are a wounded animal, and they are going to start lashing out while they can. Yeah. Well, yeah, I get it. I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optometrist. I like it. How's the building holding up? Did you get the holes installed? Found my hole saws if needed. Yeah. No shit, dude. Shelton, not throwing Shelton under the bus. He's got other things going on. But I thought he was going to be here that day and he wasn't. And then I thought he was going to be here the next day and he wasn't. Again, he had things going on. It's not a damn it Shelton situation. But then I started teaching. So I haven't got it fixed yet. And if you guys can't hear it, yep, the fucking rain's coming in. As long as the wind doesn't get up, it's going to be fine. But no, long story short, no, I have not installed the holes. I will probably, no, I can't do it. Hey, Dean, maybe one day after class, after the fight, me and you will just hang out and get that shit done. How about that? Let's see. What's up, Scott? How are you doing? I am doing fantastic, other than the stuff I was just talking about. Got done teaching a fighting pistol class this weekend. We had 7 students total. 5 were repeat alumni, and 2 dudes were new. So it was really cool to have these, to see it in work. Like, the 2 dudes who showed up were brought down by separate friend groups, but anyway, it was cool to see it in action. Let's see. Hey, from wet Indiana. Dude, we're not far behind you, crewer. It's been raining all day today, non-stop. I haven't had a chance to And I know that the pond, the fucking beavers have clogged up that that overflow pipe. I need to get out there and get that done. Let's see. Gun up because children are short. That was a new thing I only heard James say. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're not the gun up school. We're not. That, like, I understand that the situation will dictate the tactics. That's the instructor's answer. Is the equivalent of the lawyer answer of like it depends kind of thing. So anyway, with that being said, like the situation will dictate the tactics is kind of the cop-out answer. But yeah, absolutely. Like sometimes up isn't the answer. Sometimes down isn't the answer. And if you only train one thing, then you're wrong. I think you should know both of them. Damn, I'm behind. How's the raccoon? We still have not. See Heather talked in there. We have not caught the raccoon. Things have been a little hectic. I just got to get some potted meat, and I'm sure we'll get him caught. We have the trap. I haven't baited it yet. Dean, thank you, sir. I appreciate the help. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Good evening from Casa de Catass. Hey, man, glad that you're actually home. It's very rare that your first chat is not from like some weird place of the country. Not weird, because of you're near a racetrack. But anyway, raccoon traps. Yes, yeah, we have the trap. We have it. I just have not baited it. Sorry, I'm crazy. The water in the pond was high in July. Yeah, it constantly gets high. If you guys don't know, we've had a beaver problem, and me, Joey, I have to go out to the pond at least once a week and get in my skivvies and clean out the overflow pipe. Yes, it could be fixed. Yes, I know that there's alumni who would absolutely come down here and fucking get it handled for us, but I haven't asked anybody to do it necessarily yet. So anyway, with that being said, I go out there and I clean that overflow pipe out. And I've, with everything going on at the shop here recently, I haven't had the chance to get out there. So it's one of those things that like every once in a while, just in the back of my head, it's like, hey, that thing that you haven't had a chance to do yet is probably a bigger deal now. So Heather says we're going to go out there and do it tomorrow. Is that what she is? Did I see that? Let's see. Do you need another role player for this weekend? I'm off and would like to help out. Adam, I think we're going to be good. At the very least, like I said, I know we got Tom, Dean, and Dylan. I would never turn you away. If you just want to come and hang out, we can rotate role players through and stuff like that. But I do think we'll be covered. So if you have something else you would rather do, then feel free to do that. But yeah, I do think we have enough role players. Got in late. Can you post what happened with YouTube in the comments below when you can't chance so you don't have to repeat it? Thanks. No, I'll repeat it. Long story short, YouTube took the memberships away because they have demonetized our channel after reviewing it with their, I can't remember the term they used, but it was professional something. I saw professional and blacked out in a rage because I was like, there's no way there's professionals doing this. Anyway, sorry, I yelled. But anyway, yes, long story short, we've just been demonetized. We're going to try to appeal it. There is room in that class that Catass was talking about. Absolutely. Farnham likes Gun Down. That's how I know. Dude, I know. I respect Farnham. Farnham is one of the best to ever do it. I would train with him any day of the week. And he is adamant on Gun Down. But I bet if I asked him, like, hey, John, like, do you think sometimes you would want to go gun up? I bet he would probably say yes. I don't know, though. He may hit me with a poem that explains why gun down is the answer all the time, and I just have to be like, yes, sir. Raccoons. Yeah, I know you have some raccoons that love your porch. They named them and brought their babies this summer. Wow, look at that. Love the sunflower seeds. Yes, I remember all the Snapchats you were sending. Just driving back home. I'll be listening. Okay, Scott, be that way. Never mind. Keep telling you to call Dan and Autumn. They hunt beavers. Yeah. Yes, I know. Well, the thing is that we thought we had the beavers taken care of. We had a guy come out, he caught a couple of them, got rid of a couple of them, you know, whatever that means. And we thought they were done, but the thing about animals is if you leave one or two of them, sometimes they can make more of them. So here we are. We also would take care of the beavers too. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, tag team shitbirds, go get them, Adam. Yeah, nice. I like it. Yeah, if you guys, if there's anyone out there who wants to come and take a look at the pond and see if you can fix this overflow thing going on, because we have the overflow pipe, but that's like the emergency. We actually have a spot that is supposed to be lower than the overflow pipe and all that good stuff, but they just packed it. We had like, you know, big chunks of rock in there, not gravel, like big chunks of rock, and they packed it so full of dirt that it's just become a part of the bank now. And yeah, there's nothing I could do about it. Well, there's something I could do about it, maybe. But anyway, I'm off for a couple days here at the house. I head back to Charlotte on Sunday for a few days, and then I'm off to mid-January. Yep, it's getting close to your slow season, huh? Thank you for reaching out. Okay, that's for Heather. Good luck on the appeal. Thank you, sir. Yeah, again, we're going to appeal it. I hope it works out. I really do. I think it will. Sorry, my southern sneaked out there. But anyway, if it doesn't, we'll keep doing what we're doing. And as far as like maybe Liber TV becomes the focus, that's at the end of the day, that's the reason why we started Liber TV, is in case this happened. Because now, if we had to, we could absolutely just exclusively be on Liber TV and put whatever we want up on there at the end of the day. Let's see. Adam says he'd like to come role play. It's been a while and I got nothing else going on. Well, show up, man. Bring it on. We'll get you in there. We'll let you be a scrote bag. We'll let you be scrote actual. How about that? I liked James's video on which is better, gun up or gun down, and he answered it the best, I think. I'll have to go and watch that video because I don't know if I've seen it. So we'll see. I think I remember YouTube messing with James too. Yeah, YouTube didn't just mess with James. I mean, there was a whole erasure of the original channel. I was literally talking to some fighting pistol students about it today. They were like, hey, like, you know, this video and that video, I noticed it's not on the channel anymore. It used to be, and so on and so forth. And it's one of those things where we didn't upload a lot of their a lot of those older videos because we didn't want to immediately lose the channel again. We were talking about Liber TV, and I was like, shit, yeah, you're right. I should just upload those to Liber TV. But yeah, like YouTube straight up killed the original channel, and we had to restart with this one. Beavers need training too, yeah. Beavers will just move back in when the pond becomes empty. Okay, yep. I passed by 2 NASCAR trucks on 40 on Monday. Nice. Monetization could be rough, but Trump just gave a speech about revoking 230 protections from social media platforms or enforcing them to take their thumb off the scale regarding shadow banning, etc. Yeah, listen, I get it. I appreciate. I think that that's an awesome thing to do. At the end of the day, YouTube is a private business. You know, at what point but they are also used by a bajillion people. So at what point does their banning channels like ours or shadow, like choosing to not highlight certain channels or posts and stuff, when does the government stepping in on that become an issue? Like, is it just because of how big they are? Because technically, well, I guess they are public traded, but they still are, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. Like, I want us to not be demonetized. I don't want people to be shadow banned, but I also don't want the government to be able to be like, hey, you're a private business or whatever, and be like we get to say that what you're doing is wrong and you have to do this thing and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's a it's a weird thing. So I mean, I hope it works out for sure. Alumni training weekend ideas: how to trap skin and tan beaver hides. I like it. Jonathan Webb, awesome. Yep, excellent. Hey, you were just in class. Let's see, I was probably one of them, Dean. I missed that, sorry. Elon needs to buy YouTube. He just might at this point. He just might. Aim for survival. Hell yeah, I like the feedback. Not afraid of learning. I thought, like you mentioned, there are scenarios that great instructors can help with. I'm in a one story. It worked for me too. Okay, excellent. Yep. Have you thought about switching over to Rumble? Their format is very close to YouTube. We've tossed around the idea of jumping over to Rumble. We just haven't committed yet. It might be something that we look more serious at here in the future. You could do the 30-minute on YouTube and rest of an hour on Liber TV like James used to. Yeah, we could. You know, yes, you're absolutely right. We could do that. The gun up or down might have been a part of Fighting Pistol YouTube video or something. Okay, all right. I need to go back and rewatch that then because I don't remember it at all. I remember how epic the video that got the first channel banned was. Was it? It wasn't the Pack Your Bags video, though, was it? Was that the video that got it, like, boom, taken down all the way? Or was there a separate video? Patreon is the winner. Patreon, I do enjoy the Patreon streams. Just, again, like Gary Johnson says, because I get to nerd out a little bit. Because if you guys don't know, like, Patreon streams and the YouTube member streams is where I'll branch off from this stuff and try to be more... you know, more myself. No, a little bit. Let the conversation go towards some stuff that wouldn't want to talk about on here necessarily. But anyway, yeah. I mean, listen. If you're not a Patreon member, I will tell you the only thing that you get at the moment, other than the exclusive live stream once a month, is you get the videos early that are released on the YouTube channel. Liber TV gets them the earliest, then Patreon, then they come out the following Friday on the YouTube. But if this YouTube stuff doesn't work out, then we will absolutely put more work into the Patreon and, of course, Liber TV. Well, the problem, they are under 230, so if they're getting government assistance, they need to be open to everyone. Yes, okay, very cool. If they don't, then they need to not be under that protection. It's either or. Sorry, yes, I was speaking from ignorance. I didn't even know what 230 was. Yeah, no, yes, if you're getting government assistance, then yeah, the government gets to kind of push you in the direction they want you to go. All right, cool. Yeah, fuck. I agree then. Hell yeah. Let's see. Yep, we are listening while traveling home. Awesome. Glad to hear it. You guys weren't tired of my voice. I guess I understand. You're not tired of me talking because Tim did most of the talking this weekend. So Gary Johnson, hello nerds, howdy nerds. Homestead Medical, what's going on, Chuck? I was just talking about you to some students the other day. Hopefully they sign up for your for one of your classes, man. We were talking about the tissue lab, live tissue lab, and then of course I was like, if you don't want to do that, then you just jump into his regular medical class, and it's fucking badass. I didn't even take it; I just listened to it, and and I know it's good. Let's see. I'll just throw this out there. Yeah, sorry. I feel weird doing it because it was such a James thing. Like I don't know if it was a reference to something else, and like if it's a quote from a movie or a thing or a this, but it just feels like such a James thing that I don't know. I just always feel weird doing it. It wasn't the Pack Your Bags video. Okay, shit. All right. It was the active shooter videos that got the channel banned. I mean, that's crazy in my opinion. Like the Pack Your Bags video was obviously more against the terms and conditions of YouTube. The active shooter videos were, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too deep into this stuff. I'm like, that just makes sense. It was the shoot the women first after the San Bernardino thing. Okay. Alrighty. The Nerd Talk gets pretty epic. Yeah, the Nerd Talk does get epic, man. We will start talking about, damn, Willie and I can spend the whole Patreon stream talking about Stormlight Archive. Are these lives on Liber TV? They're not. They're not. They could be though, but no, they're not at the moment. But that may change. Joey, you've come a long way, and you're talking to the camera and keeping viewers engaged. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it, man. It's I do feel a lot more comfortable on here. It's one of those things where when I first started doing the live streams, the idea of just sitting here talking to you guys by myself, I was like, no, like there's no way I can do it. I need to have someone in there with me, like every time. And now it's to the point of where, like, you know, if no one wants to show up, I feel pretty good about it. In fact, the only thing that I will stress about now when I'm doing them by myself is keeping up with all the comments. So I appreciate the kind words, sir. Thank you. The bummer with Patreon is there's no mini player. Must play video full screen and can't open other apps while listening. Yeah, that is a bummer. You have to open it up in a separate tab if you're on your desktop. That way you can still hear things. But yes, I understand. Sidetrack. Joey, did Foxtrot Mike reach out to you? I may have a new rifle sitting in my safe for some testing. They have not reached out to me, and it's on me too. I did not reach out to them. So, yeah, no, I haven't. Or they haven't, and I haven't. But if you've got a new rifle that needs some testing, absolutely bring it on in, man. We'll take it out there. We can make some videos and do the whole kit and caboodle, as long as you don't mind being on camera. Let's see. I thought it was the active shooter part 2 that did it. If it was going to be one of the active shooter videos, it would definitely be that one. Let's see. Adam, I wish I was going to be in town for that class. Let's see. I don't think YouTube had all the strikes and shit when the Pack Your Bags video came out. Okay, so that might have been just early enough for all these crazy guideline things to not have been in place. Section 230 provides internet service providers safe harbors to operate as intermediaries of content without fear of being liable for that content. Okay. Channel was banned after... now I have no idea. Now I don't know. But I think that's a joke, and I like it if it is. If it wasn't a joke, I'm sorry for laughing at it. But I like it. That's a good one. Speaking of nerd talk, my son has recently gotten into Pokemon cards, so now I'm into Pokemon. Listen, if you want, Kyle, you know this. If you want to talk about Pokemon cards, this isn't the time to do it. We'll do that on the Patreon stream. But side note, I don't know how I started this, but my TikTok has been full of nothing of people opening Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards and fucking One Piece cards and this and that, like chasing cards for their value and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a couple next week. If you're well, never mind. Well, YouTube member stream won't be a thing next week. Patreon stream. If they censor content, then they are a publisher, which violates 230. Yes, absolutely understood. Yeah. James said in an interview with John Lovell that the channel had gotten 3 strikes and it was never clear what the strikes were for or explained by YouTube. Yes, that is the thing that... So, anytime that we've gotten any feedback from YouTube, they have given a reason in the sense of they're like, hey, this violates this thing, but that thing they're talking about... So, when, like, let's say it's firearm modification. This violates the firearms modification thing. You can't publish that on your channel. But what they don't say is, and that you have to do your own looking into, is what they mean by firearms modification is, of course, any gunsmithing or anything. Or they might, it's not even firearms modification, it's gunsmithing. But what they mean by that is, of course, you can't show anything about actual, like, right, gunsmithing, but you can't put a sight on, because that's considered gunsmithing. You can't change out a part. You can't reload the gun. Like, you can't take a new magazine and put it into the gun. All kinds of things that are under this massive umbrella that you have no idea that then you have to go through. And they also, very rarely do they say, this video is the thing. This is the reason. You'll just get an email that says, like, hey, this, one of your videos have been demonetized because of X, Y, and Z, and you have to kind of try to figure it out. So anyway, they'll give a reason. It's just not a clear. They don't point at a thing and say, "Hey, this is why we're doing this thing." Because if that was the case, then I would just delete the video and make sure it's on Libber TV. And if you want to see that video, go over to Libber TV. Anyway. Making me doubt myself. I thought it was the active shooter video. Yeah, dude, I have no idea. I have no idea. What 308 round would you recommend for deer 300 yards and in? Jose Rivera, you son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't have a lot of experience with 308. I see that Dean chimed in with the Defiant 308. You cannot go wrong with Defiant. Absolutely not. But I have very little experience with 308, so I can't tell you like what I would personally say other than I know Defiant is good. So, no. Sorry, I'm not much more help. Got hit by an ND from a shotty. A good guy, accident, felt like a bunch of pellet gun rounds all at once. I'm good, he's good. I'll end with gun up or down. Point it somewhere useful. Yeah, at the end of the day, speaking of Farnham, I don't know if he'd want me to say this on the internet, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because, let me rephrase this. So, you should point your gun in the safest available direction. Up, down, angled up this way, that way, wherever that is. You should point it in the safest available direction. I'll leave it at that. So, I won't get into what Farnham said the other day in his class. You'll have to tune into the Patreon stream for that. Two times Patreon streams now? Fuck, maybe, man. That's probably where we're at. If you were a YouTube member, you're not going to be charged for this month. If you want to join into a Patreon stream next week, that's what we'll do. On this coming up Monday, instead of it being the member stream, we'll do a Patreon stream again. Jump in there, and you'll get to hang out with all the Patreon weirdos. Hope all is well. I just purchased the 18-inch, fully complete rifle from Midwest Industries, chambered in .223 Wild. Do you have any experience with their drop-in triggers? I couldn't tell you if I did or not. The Midwest Industries, whatever comes in their rifle, like from them. So I've of course shot their regular, ARs, and then I've shot their Tactical Response Edition of those rifles that James helped put together. But it was just whatever came in the box. I don't know of any triggers being swapped out or anything like that. So anyway, no, I don't. I bought it from the company. James Yeager solely recommend it, and I also use your guys' coupon codes. Thank you so much for those, dude. No problem. I'm glad that you're able to get something off of that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, again, I don't have any experience with the Midwest drop-in triggers. All I know is out of the box. That is, now that I have more experience shooting different rifles, it is absolutely to be a little bit of a gear nerd, it is one of the best rifles I've shot. Like, I did a video over the Tactical Response Edition rifle, just like literally grabbed it out of the box, ran a magazine through it and stuff like that. And it had been a while since I shot mine or another Tactical Response Edition rifle here at the shop. And I was like, holy shit, I forgot how good this rifle shot. Like, it just feels good when you're shooting it. So anyway, planning to hunt with X39 Defiant. If they do, no gunsmithing. Let's see. Some of the biggest channels are sponsored by Sornin Desert Institute. If they do that to all gun channels, y'all could get them all on Libber TV and make it the new gun YouTube. We could. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's crazy. And especially when they say no gunsmithing, it's such a broad umbrella. Like, it is absolutely crazy. And then it looks like Jose's question has already been answered. Yes, that was Gorilla. Absolutely. Patreon for weirdos. Yeah, dude. Joe Pruitt says drop-in triggers are awesome. All right, cool. I'll take Joe's word for it. Extra nerd and gun talk. Yeah, absolutely. Not only do we get into the nerdy stuff, but sometimes I'll save some exclusive rants for the for the Patreon channels. and stuff like that, just because this one is open to the public and I don't want to say anything that I shouldn't or will make someone upset that is just so openly available. I get it. Anything on the internet is on the internet. Someone can get it and find it. But anyway, just saying, sometimes we get a little into that as well. Is Gorilla still around? Yeah, absolutely. At least they were this past January. They had a booth at SHOT Show and stuff like that. Let's see. The reason I asked on the drop-ins from Midwest is James did a video on them, and I do not know if he did a follow-up on them. That's why I'm asking. Thank you for reading the comment. No problem, man. And Heather kind of chimes in on it. James didn't do a whole lot of swapping out. He was very big on like trying to leave things stock, particularly like carry guns and stuff like that. But yeah. Let's see. Do not trust drop-in cassette triggers. Okay. Have you worked out where you will do videos, live streams, and podcasts once you move out of the shop? Yeah. I mean, so as far as the live streams are concerned, I'm pretty much, think I'm set on either doing them from the team room, which might not be a bad idea. If I do them from the team room, I'm not going to have the camera and the lights and stuff like that. It'll probably be one light and the phone with a mic, just because if there's students in there and things like that, I'm not taking up the whole area with this whole kit and caboodle. Or I'll do them just from my house until we get somewhere else to do them. I'll make the kids, I'll kick whichever kid I like the least, I'll kick them out of that room and just take that over as a live stream studio kind of thing and do what I got to do from there. Moving out of the shop. Yeah. Yes, we are absolutely trying to get out of here. If you haven't heard, Gavin, this place is fucking falling apart. And I've told a bunch of people that the good thing about staying here, and I think why we were here for so long, is because our landlord is very hands-off. It's been one of those things where anything we've wanted to do to the shop, he's been A-okay with us doing it. And if anything has come up, like repair-wise, he has said, yeah, do it, take it off the rent. It's not a big deal. The problem with that is he's very hands-off. So for years now, for a couple of years, we have had some major roof issues here at the shop. And he sent some guys over to look at it. They said it was going to be about $30,000 to fix it, to fix the roof and everything. And he said, yeah, take it off the rent and we'll be good. And it's like, shit, like who wants to drop $30,000 into something they don't own kind of thing, right? So we have been kind of biding our time looking for places. Heather has talked to a lot of places that go up for rent around here in Camden that could work. But as soon as they find out what we do, firearms training, they either ghost us or just say no. And it is getting to the point now where it's not becoming unsafe, I don't think. But what I don't want to happen is have the front of the building fall off while a class is in here, because that's a whole different thing. So I think at this point we're just committed to getting out of here, running the classes from the team room, from the range, wherever we've got to do it, and until we can either get something built out on the range or find a place to rent here in Camden. Thank you guys for the information. Hope you have a great day. Same to you, man. No worries. Every time I get into discussion with gun guys, they always ask what kind of triggers I run. I always say whatever came in it from the factory. Yeah, dude, same here. I have no idea when people start talking about all that stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Whatever came out of the box. For drop-in triggers, I use the K&S anti-rotation pins. That's a dude who knows what he's talking about. So listen to him. Let's see. Where am I at? DB Cooper. Okay. Talking about gear stuff. Whichever kid is your least favorite that week. Right, exactly. Literally falling apart. It is. The front of the building. Not the front, the whole front of the building. the metal, the Camden Plumbing and Electric Supply was almost peeled all the way off the building. We had to get Dean over here, and Frank and Tim and Shelton and me to get that. So now it's settled. It's holding on by approximately 5 screws, 2 ratchet straps, and hopes and dreams. That's what's holding that's what's holding it there. Literally had a raccoon falling from the ceiling. We did. Yeah, you're right. It's not unsafe, though, unless the raccoon lands on you. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. Charles Wilson, what's going on? Hello, sir. Dean Conrad, I swap ALG into my AK. That's the only ones I swap. Okay, very cool. Heather saying her mom was convinced the kids were going to be attacked by the raccoon. It wasn't just your mom. Be honest with the people here, Heather. Whenever I texted you about the raccoon, you did say that you were worried about being up here by yourself because you didn't want to get attacked by it. Had the discussion on stock Glock triggers in the team room last night. Okay, dude, I wish you would have said something in class. I would have loved to have been a part of that. We should have talked about it during the mindset lecture today. You should have. Unless you were on the wrong side, you should have absolutely just been like, well, what do you think about people who think that the stock Glock triggers suck? Because then I would have laid into them without realizing that they were the ones getting laid into. It would have been a good time for everybody. I used Jaeger's quote about Glock triggers. If you can't shoot a Glock trigger, you just can't shoot a pistol. Listen. Absolutely. I have shot Glocks almost exclusively since I've been shooting. Like, I took Range Masters in shot the quals on there with just a stock. Well, I won't say stock, but it had a red dot on it. Stock Glock. Was that the 17 I used in that class? Yes, stock Glock 17 with a red dot on it. Shot 100 on all 3 quals. The FBI, or sorry, all 2 quals. The FBI qual, and instructor qual, and then their Rangemaster qual. And did fine. It's okay. Glock triggers may not be the best, but they are not so bad that they justify you being bad. Will you be keeping all of the gym equipment? Need a place to store anything? I see what you did there. No, we actually got rid of a lot of. We got rid of a lot of it. We sold a bunch of stuff out of the gym, and whatever we couldn't sell is over at our place conveniently. Again, we just have to store it somewhere, right? Glock triggers are fine, especially when they're broken. Yeah, Garrett's of the mindset. He's like, I don't need the performance Glock trigger. I'll just shoot this Glock triggers 5, 6, 10,000 times, and it'll be good. Totally on the right side of that one. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Tom says, hello, sir. The raccoon didn't bother me any. Yeah. He was chill once we started the live stream. He did get a little, like, when we walked in here and kind of upset him before the live stream started. He was a little upset, but that's okay. Tell the government that it's a pet. They will take care of it. Damn, you're right. I just need to get it to wear a cowboy hat or something. And the next thing I know, Camden PD will be in here. Be the guy who outshoots people with 2011s using a Glock. Isn't that what we're all doing this for? It's just so we can beat those guys. That's what I'm in it for. Kind of new to the red dot stuff now. Right, sorry. I wish I could still say that so I could use it as an excuse when I miss and things like that. But I have been carrying a red dot for going on 3 years now. So I'm not necessarily new to it, but I wish I was, so I could again use that as an excuse. No, I feel pretty confident in it, though. I did take Andrew's in here, Combat Art Training. I did take his red dot pistol class, and something that I had struggled with was on the presentation. I always had such a habit, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing because I didn't have the watchful eye of an instructor watching me. But the dot would not be too high or too low, but it would always be to the left. Or the circle, I run circle only. It'd always be to the left, and I'd have to crank the gun to the right to get it lined up. And Andrew in his class was like, "Hey, try doing this when you draw it. If you're using either, of course we're all using red dots, but he tried doing this, and I did that thing that he said. I'm not going to give it away for free on here since it's his stuff, but I did that thing, and I have had 0 issues since then. So anyway, yes, I loved camping out with the bug out thing, hanging out in the time machines or at Racks and Rucks. Maybe check in on the Amazon tiny home thing. Yeah, no. Again, Andrew sent over some stuff to me on Facebook the other day. Might not be a bad idea for throwing something up out there at the range. I don't know if the bug out weekend's on the calendar or not this year. Maybe it should be. I'll talk with Heather about it. But yeah, I love the bug out weekend. It's so much fun hanging out with people in the cold, eating a bunch of Mountain House and sitting around the fire. It's such a good time. Yellow big dots, dude. You don't have to convince me anymore. I'm kind of right there with you. After shooting the yellow ones and the white ones here recently, I'm kind of leaning toward the yellow, like right there with you. So does that mean I can come by and get a workout in before class like I was doing at the shop? I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. If you give me enough of a notice, we might be able to work something out. We might not. But we might also be able to. Some people think they can buy a trigger to get out of practice. Absolutely. Red dots are awesome. Acro is my favorite. Yep, you're wrong. If someone can't shoot a Glock trigger, they probably have their gear above the mindset in priority. Yes, absolutely. I'll let people use it out of our garage. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Heather's already said yes. Was the alumni bug out weekend going down this year? I didn't see it on the training schedule. I don't know. We haven't. If it's not on there, then that's just on us, and I'll see if we've got the. Now that we're so close, it might be tough, but I'll see if we can make it work. We'll make it work. So anyway, what was something I wanted to talk about up there? Oh, the people buy a trigger thinking it will make up for things. In our instructor class this past August. Fuck, I wish I could remember the guy's name. I'm so bad with names. You guys are lucky that your names are next to you up there. I wouldn't remember. Anyway, he had such a good talk over... Shit. Fuck. Sorry, guys. I can't remember it now. It's completely left my brain because now I'm thinking about why can't I remember his name. Results-oriented versus performance. Results versus performance. That's what it was. If you didn't see the talk that he did, I think he did it on one of the live streams. It would be back in August. I know that I did an interview with him. I don't know if we ever posted it. Shelton, if you're watching, if you're listening, I can't remember if we did that or not. If you could let me know if we put up those interviews I did with the guys from the instructor classes. If we didn't, I would love to get those online, maybe on Liber TV. So anyway, dude did a great presentation over it, but basically it boiled down to people are so result oriented that they buy the thing about the new trigger, the new this, the new that to try to make their results better. But all that new gear and this and that, it's not helping with their performance, and that you should focus on the performance before you worry about the results. So it was one of those things that you kind of intuitively know. The more you do this, you just kind of understand it. But to have someone lay it out that way, it was it was an aha moment. Oh shit, that is the phrase that I have been looking for to explain this stuff. Don't worry necessarily about the results in the beginning. Focus on the performance, because then if you get the performance down, when you buy that new trigger or the red dot or the this or the that, it will, boom, bump those results up, and you'll actually be able to use those things even more efficiently. So anyway, sorry to go off on a rant. Let's see. Sam says it's not on the calendar. Put it on there. Yeah, we'll get something worked out. At the very least, it's an excuse for me to go out there and camp. Justin says, thank you. Awesome, Heather. Thank you for everything you do. I still don't know about circle only, but I admit I haven't tried it. I've only got pistols with an RMR and an Acro P2. I am. Garrett will disagree with me, and Garrett is absolutely great at what he does, but I think that the circle is the way. I mean, when you get to the circle's better. I like the circle more. Just me. I can only give you anecdotal evidence. Here's my anecdotal evidence. I did the red dot class with Don Edwards. We shot 25-yard bullseyes. I shot 2 or 3 with the dot, and I shot 2 or 3 with the circle, and I was consistently better with the circle. Now, I've run the circle for a couple of years, and I have only shot the dot only a couple of times. But what I was struggling with in that 25-yard bullseye stuff is with the circle, I was able to look through the circle and focus literally on the X in the X ring. With the dot, it would be covering the X, and I wasn't able to get that, the whole aim small, miss small. So when I was looking through the circle, I was looking at where the X intersect. But with the dot, it covered it up. It was pretty much covering the whole X of the X ring. And so I just kind of let it hover around in there and put the thing on the thing and press the thing. But I did enjoy the circle more. That's completely anecdotal. That's just me, so on and so forth. 30 by 40 steel buildings with a 4-inch concrete pad. What was it you that was talking about? Who was talking to me about they had a pad laid and all kinds of stuff, a small building put up for not very much. I think it might have been you. For carrying and fighting purposes, why a red dot over big dots in your opinion? Okay, so I've talked about this before. I haven't, maybe someone answered it in the comments already, but I'll give you my spiel on it. If I was guaranteed the stereotypical gunfight, the 3 rounds, 3 feet, 3 whatever, 3 seconds kind of thing. If I was guaranteed that, I would use a big dot every day of the week. I absolutely think that the big dots will crush in that field. But I'm not guaranteed that. I might be the dude who has to make that 40-yard shot in a food mall kind of thing. And the red dots do excel in that area. So with that being said, I know I just said that the big dots crush in that area. I do think with enough practice and enough training, you can make up for or make a red dot almost as effective as a big dot with these up close and personal things. So if I can be like really good here and then like exceptional out here, I'm going to take that. Not to say with a big dot you can't be exceptional at longer ranges. James proved you could do it. If you guys haven't seen the video of him doing that fucking 100-yard shot offhand only with big dots out there at Thunder Ranch, I believe, you absolutely can do it, but again, it makes it easier. So that's my thing on it. If I'm guaranteed the stereotypical gunfight, I would use big dots, but I'm not guaranteed that, so I'm going to run a red dot in case I run into the other things. 15 yards and out, optics are superior. Yep, absolutely. I would swear I've heard that phrase in an interview on this channel. Okay, all right, and we've probably put it on there. I know that we had him jump on the live stream, and I talked about it with him in a live stream. I just can't remember if we actually posted the video or not. Heather says she'll get it on the schedule by tomorrow. Awesome. I had more shield arms mags suck in class this week. Yeah, we had a couple of people come through with shield arms mags, and we had one dude have issues with them. But the other guy did fine. It's just one of those things that, yeah, I'm not going to carry them, that's for sure. I mean, take them to class if you're okay with taking the chance on having to deal with them, but got paid to take CPR last Saturday. Class went way too fast. Looking forward to taking immediate action medical next year. Man, you absolutely should get that one knocked out. I'm glad that you're going to be here. Yes, absolutely. Evening all. Hello, Chuck. I wish it was a true circle only. Get rid of the hash marks. Yeah, I I'd be fine with getting rid of the hash marks. They don't really do much for me. The only time I ever use the hash mark is if I'm shooting Allen dots, and that's because the tip of the hash mark is like center punching the Allen dot whenever I'm shooting, at the 10 feet or whatever it is. But I don't have to center punch an Allen dot. I just have to be in the black. So if I didn't have the hash mark, it'd be fine. I want to try the circle dot one day at the range, Joey. Yeah, bring it on, man. Hit me up. Let's see. I don't know. We'll figure out a time. It's not like you live far away, so let's figure out a time and we'll head out there. When did we stop calling it the donut? It's changed my game. Lewis actually started that. He wanted to get away from the donut from the donut of death. So then I started calling it the circle only, so on and so forth. But yeah, he wanted to get away from donut of death. I'm fine with just calling it donut. Halo have had to, circle of life. I think all of those are great alternatives. But yeah, yeah, we had to get away from the donut of death, or Lewis wanted to get away from it. Got it. I agree with you for the most part. Yep. DXT2 big dots get weird past 25 with surgical accuracy. You have to really know your holds. I found red dots really fast up close and great at distance. Find putting the round exactly where I want it is faster and easier with the dot versus irons, in my opinion. Yeah, so red dots, I think, if you get your dot at again, the 3 feet, 3 rounds, 3 seconds kind of thing, I think that if you get your dot in that thing, then they will be more accurate. My reasoning behind it is at the 3 rounds, 3 feet, 3 seconds kind of stuff, all I want to do is get that golf ball somewhere in the upper chest and start working the trigger. And so that's why I think the big dots are a little bit better there. That's just my thing. Maybe I'm not center punching the heart, but I'm kind of bounced, like I'm in here somewhere, and I'll take that for that gunfight, kind of thing. Have the guys in Boise found a building yet? I've been meaning to reach out to them. I have not heard anything from them. I don't think they have, but yeah, the more I think about trying to teach the fight out there on that range with tarps and barrels, the more I'm like, yeah, maybe the wind would be a bit much. Just the tip, yes. Always just the tip. Go back and forth between my red dot pistol and XS pistol. I like both. Definitely see its pros at a distance and in low light. Yeah, absolutely. That breakdown of dot versus RDS makes perfect sense. Would you first recommend more practice with big dot at distance? The Ring of Fire is also an acceptable answer. Yeah, if you carry a big dot, you absolutely should go out and do some high precision, like hold yourself to a high standard of marksmanship at some type of distance. Just so you know, kind of what Andrew's getting at, you need to know what your sights are doing at those distances, and where the impacts are happening and stuff like that. So yes, if you're not going to carry a red dot, if you're like, I'm not going to put the practice in to learn it, because again, I also tell people that if you're not going to put the time in on a red dot, then it's not worth it at all. It's not worth it either. You should just stick to iron sights, because it does take practice. It does absolutely take some effort on your end to get used to running those sights. So anyway, with that being said, if you're going to carry a big dot, if you're going to carry any type of iron sights, any type of sights in general, red dot, irons, whatever, you should know what that is doing at set distances and things like that. So yes, absolutely, you should do those things. Ring of Fire. The circle only is the second best thing to the yellow big dot. It's the bee's knees and some kind of Zen voodoo magic. Immediate Action Medical is one of the best medical classes I've taken. 40 years in healthcare. You're going to dig it. I can still hear Kayla yelling, move. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. We literally had two... Were they paramedics or EMTs? I can't remember. But they asked, they were like, because I was at the end of class, I'm talking about what classes you should take next, part of the trifecta, medical, the fight, so on and so forth. And they were like, hey, like, just being honest, like, do you think it's important or necessary for us to, pointing to the other EMT or paramedic, whatever it was, to take that class? And I was like, I will just tell you that, I'm paraphrasing. I said a lot more than this, but it ended with, I will just tell you that we have had other EMTs, other paramedics, and doctors come through the class who still got a lot out of it. So I'm not saying it's necessary for you to do it, but I do think that you will get something. So I thank you for the kind words, Ed. That's very nice of you. Having a gun with a red dot and big dots is an option. Biggest con with red dot is one-handed lateral movement while shooting, and they break. Yes. Hey, speaking of one-handed lateral movement with a red dot, that video, it's 8 o'clock. All right, I'll keep this brief. Guys, if you're not doing the drill of the month, we did put one out last week. We're building up on something that I I got Andrew's permission for this. Something that I got from Andrew. So this past week's was starting with the getting used to getting the gun out on that hand and using that eye, getting it in that hand and using your other eye, so on and so forth. This is all you were doing in this week's. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the next part of that, where we're going to get into that lateral one-handed movement. And then, the 2 weeks after that, we'll jump into another thing that I stole from him. So anyway, with that being said, if you haven't trained with Andrew, if you haven't trained with Chuck, you absolutely should. Chuck is Homestead Medical over there. So anyway, guys, yes, thank you for tuning in. It's 8 o'clock. So thank you. We'll be back on Monday. We'll just do a Patreon stream on Monday if you're interested. If you dig the members live stream and you don't want to miss out on it, go ahead and jump over to the Patreon. I believe the Patreon is still under James Yeager of Tactical Response. I think that's the thing. It might just be James Yeager. But check that out. If you absolutely can't go without your exclusive live stream this month, that's where we'll be next week. And remember, this is the way. And I don't know if Shelton is watching. So I'm going to get up and press the buttons. So remember, guys, this is the way.